Now let's go from Victoria. Let's head up to Queensland. Of course, there's a lot happening in Queensland as well. Another state, and sadly, badly being driven into the ground by an out of control, I think, can't really care less Labor Premier. But one of the biggest issues at the moment is youth crime. And despite an overhaul in 2019, a long-awaited report into the first 6 months of the Palaszczuk government's youth justice changes has finally been published. The result, higher youth crime rates and even more reoffending. I'm pleased to say joining me right now is one of the hardest working opposition leaders this country's ever seen, David Crisafulli. I mean, David, welcome and thanks so much for joining us. Firstly, this report was handed back to the government in February. It's taken 9 months to actually be publicly released.
Well, the information in the report's 13 months old. The government's had it for 8 months, and they released it during the week after 8 p.m. at night on a day that they'd had a horror day on youth crime. Now, doesn't that tell you everything you need to know about this mob? Everything is viewed through the prism of those 30 media spinners, everything. They're more worried about their electoral safety than community safety, and the report bells the cat on that, and it shows how dire things are since they watered down the youth crime laws in this state. And I'm never going to let them get away with that. One of the first things they did when they came to office over 7 years ago was watered down the youth crime laws, and as a result we have a generation of repeat hardcore young thugs, and they know that their rights are better than the rights of the victim. And they're laughing all the way on Instagram, and they're laughing all the way into the streets where people should be feeling safe.
Yeah, and David, the report really does make for grim reading. Instead of improvements, youth crime, it's just getting worse. Yep,
a few of the facts that are truly sobering. And just bear in mind, this report's stale, the information's 13 months old. It has deteriorated since then. But they spent $3.8 million on GPS trackers to track the so-called hardcore offenders. They fitted three young offenders in 6 months at a cost of $3.8 million. The report shows that the agencies that deal with youth crime just do not believe the government has the ticket to sort it. It shows there are more repeat hardcore youth offenders than ever before, despite the government saying something to the contrary. And this week we uncovered figures that shows that Queensland is the car theft capital of the nation. We had over 17,000 Queenslanders lose their car last financial year. That is more than both Victoria and New South Wales. It's nearly double what New South Wales is, but it's more than both of those other states, despite the larger population they have. It shows you that we have a generation of repeat offenders, and they just know they're above the law, Gary.